Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let's start out by checking in with ourselves. Are we happy? Are we healthy? Are we complete? Those are good things to start your day with. A good question to ask yourself. I had a funny day. A couple of funny things happened yesterday when I was at work. Well, at least funny to me. I always drink kombucha every time I go to work, and the coworkers that I work with for some reason couldn't pronounce kombucha. I think some words are just hard in general, but in our 3D reality, speech can be difficult. That's why I don't like sarcasm. You won't really ever see me using sarcasm, and I'm also pretty bad at having dry sense of humor. I'm pretty straightforward. But anyways, so I was teasing him about not being able to say kombucha, but then I was also kind of laughing at the fact that I'm a person that now drinks kombucha and talks about the qualities of kombucha, because I definitely never thought that would happen. Okay. We're almost okay. And then another thing, we are almost through winter. We're getting there, which means that spring is coming on. Excuse me. And so, you know what that means? Our sacral chakras are going to start firing. And the strong urge for procreation, when we see all the little ducks and their little ducklings, the ducks who have mated for life. Ducks mate for life. There's all over them. There's tons of them where I live. And, but their lifespan is much smaller than ours, so don't feel bad. There is a quality of the loneliness that can come in though. And I guess you just have to really reconnect with yourself in those moments, because I remember when I was younger, they didn't have, now there's all these tarot readings and stuff, and you can consult on these if you want to figure out where your soulmate is and what your love life's going to look like. I remember a couple times when I was younger getting super desperate and trying to figure it's one thing. You definitely have moments where you're like, okay, I'll just I can just pray to God, and that's going to help me through this. It's when you're in those really, really hard times and you're looking for something or someone to save you. We've all been there. And so you pray and you're like, okay, this is working. This is kind of working. But there's just that moment where you need something in the flesh. You know what I'm talking about. And so I desperately was searching for an answer, and I consulted a psychic, and it was pre-Facebook. So there was just things you could go online. They did have online, and I paid some money for this thing. And it said, if you pay this amount of money, Willie will give you the actual name to your soulmate. I'm thinking, oh, good. And then you're like, I wonder if it's someone I've already met, or, what's this going to be? Sorry, guys. I need a lot of water today. So I paid my money and I got a name back. I got a name. So the name of my soulmate is Topper, Toppr. So I've never even heard anyone have that name. So if any of you out there know somebody with that name, message me it, okay? I need to meet them. All right, inhale. Let me put my hair up. I'm going to be cutting my hair pretty soon, just a couple inches for summer. Getting ready for summer. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. At least I remembered to put my light on today. I did my video without my light, but I stepped back into plank position. I had to work, but even if I didn't, like generally, I'm not going to make a video twice. The only time I've ever done that is if it just cut off because I ran out of storage, which that has happened. And that when you make the second video, it's like totally different than the first one. So it's not even the same. So I really don't like to do that. Inhale. Ooh. There's some intensity here. My voice is even changing. If you just do a sun A and sun B every day, your body will change. Mine's been changing. You guys can see. I've been doing this like 3 months. If you look back on my first videos, I feel like my body's changed a little bit even since then. I need to do some back bending. It's plain to see for me. Okay. Going to another thing I was thinking about. This is kind of like on its own topic. My coworker was talking about her pet peeve the other day. I kind of tuned it out, to be honest with you. So sorry, I can't tell you guys what her exact pet peeve was. A lot of times if I hear someone griping, I kind of tune it out. You know how that goes. But I was thinking about how because I used to have pet peeves, and I swear I had so many. I felt like I could have wrote a book on all the pet peeves I had. And I felt like I was very righteous and justified in all of them. So, and I can't even think of one now. I can't even think of one. So if you have a pet peeve, that'll be your assignment for today. Think of what your pet peeve is and let it go, because it is like a pet. It's like a wild animal that we choose to bring in as a pet, okay? Because you're like feeding it and watering it and trying to domesticate it and make it yours. But it really just needs to be let go. Let it fly free. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Step back. Inhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Just go into a down dog for a few minutes in a day. I promise your body's going to change. No. Forward fold. As long as you don't have like some sort of lower back problem, that can be an issue. But just forward fold for a little bit every day. Make sure when you walk out of the door that you can say, looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. And if you're a woman, you can say, you can add, and my melons are good. I guess as a guy, you'll have to come up with your own line for that part. I know you guys are all creative masters. You can do it. We're all masters of our own universe. Remember that there was a cartoon I used to watch all the time when I was younger. It was called He-Man. He-Man, Masters of the Universe. I loved that one. I would race home after school. I named my dog, there was a princess on it. I named my dog after it Tila. It was a little chihuahua. I only had it for like a week. That sucker, it jumped so high. We had it in like a box that was like 7 feet high, and it jumped out of it and ran off. I didn't really have a chance to bond with it, at least. Inhale. Turn my heater off. Inhale. Look at your thumbs. Back bend. Come back up. Side bend. Another side bend. Inhale, exhale, forward fold, step back, chaturanga, come into tabletop. With all my spirituality that I have, I like to talk about how there's always more. I always like to say there's more than meets the eye. And I got really into saying that for a while until one of my friends started quoting the Transformer movie every time I did it. So arm out, pull everything to the center. You know, another thing, and another thing I've noticed, I think this is probably maybe mostly for women, this part, and maybe men too, but I've seen it on TikTok too. Now they have all these masks that are red light therapy, everything's red light therapy. And it does work pretty good because at my gym they have some machines you go in, and I do like it. But I'm not sure that I'm willing to sit there with this mask on my face. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a lot to do for beauty. Although there's definitely been a point in my life where I would have no problem doing that because at some point in my life, don't ask me where this came about. I'll just show you guys my tongue. Okay, perfectly normal. I have been eating a lot of goji berries, so it's like maybe a little bit orange from that. That's been my treat that I traded out my vinegar and salt chips. I traded them out for goji berries, which I don't think was a good trade because the goji berries have sugar. But anyways, so perfectly normal. I have a long tongue. I can touch my nose. Anyway, I went through a phase where I felt like everyone else's tongue was pinker than mine or redder than mine, or somehow mine just wasn't the right color. So I spent multiple days with food coloring, and I would just keep trying to like dye it in the center to get it like this right red color. And I remember this person saw I accidentally got some on my fingers, and they're like, "Oh, well, why are your fingers red like that?" And I told them that because it was food coloring. So the first thing that came to my mind, I told them that is because I'd been baking cookies, which is kind of funny because if they knew me at all, they know that like I don't think I've ever baked cookies in my life other than those ones that come in a tube and you just put it on a tray. I love to cook, I do, but I'm not a baker. So that was a beauty standard that I was trying to uphold myself to. That was honestly probably pretty imaginary, but it just goes to show you the things that we put ourselves through. And I have no problem lying. I'm just gonna say, in those circumstances, like, if I get pushed on it, if like they keep asking questions and I get pushed, then I'll crack usually. But like if any of you guys want to ask me questions, you can feel free. I'm not going to lie to you. I promise I won't lie to you. The only thing is if someone asks me a question that I don't want to answer, I just say pass. I don't try to make it a big deal. I don't say none of your business, none of that. I just say pass, move on to the next thing, right? But I had this neighbor at one point. He was like this retired guy. This was when I was much younger too, so it was random that he was like my friend. But I would always go over there in the morning and drink coffee and play cribbage. And I was working at this bar that had like not a very good reputation. And so when he asked me where I worked, I would say that I worked at this other restaurant, but I didn't know that he actually went there. So as time went along, he was kind of like, and he would give me rides sometimes. So I bought him these strawberry plants, And as time went along, he started pushing me on that a little bit. He'd be like, well, is it the restaurant on this address or this other one? And finally I was like, I work at the restaurant, and if you keep asking me, I'm taking your strawberry plants away. Okay? He never asked me again. And he'll, do that in a day. Feels wonderful. Okay. Just do a little bit of side stretching here. Make sure, oh, my light thingy turned off after all that. Let's see if it gets back on. Oh, okay. Make sure today that you send me a comment so that you can get an endorphin rush. It's for you. And not only that, depending on my mood, like, yeah, generally I'll just send like a nice comment back, like, thank you for the compliment, have a great day, something like that. But, you know, depending on my mood, every now and then I send something funny or a little spicier in there. So you never know. You have to see what my mood's in. Okay, everyone, have a great day.